So there's a new AI model on the horizon called DeepSeek V4, and it is generating a ton of hype. Some people are even saying it could completely change the entire AI landscape as we know it. So what's the real story here?
Yeah, the big question on everyone's mind is this the real deal? Is this a genuine revolution? Or is it just another small step forward? Could this be the one model that completely redraws the map of who's on top in the AI world? The rumors are certainly pointing to something huge.
And look, that's not just some random chatter online. That's a direct quote from analysts who follow this stuff for a living. They're basically convinced that this isn't going to be a small ripple in the pond. It's going to be a tidal wave.
Okay, so to really get to the bottom of all this, here's what we're going to do. We'll start with how all these rumors got started. Then we'll take a quick look back at DeepSeek's track record. And then, and this is crucial, we're going to separate what's actually confirmed from all the wild fiction flying around online. From there, we'll dig into why this is so important for China, the controversy that's already blowing up, and finally, what we should all be watching for next.
You know, this whole firestorm of speculation didn't just pop out of nowhere on social media. Nope. It all kicked off with a single report from a very, very credible source.
So picture this. It's February 28th, and the Financial Times drops this bombshell of an article. Citing two people in the know, they claim DeepSeek V4 is just a week away. Now, we're not talking about some random tech blog here. This is the FT, one of the most respected financial papers on the planet. So when they report something like this, people listen. And the AI community, well, it pretty much went into overdrive.
But why did one article cause such a massive explosion? Well, to get that, you really have to understand DeepSeek's history. See, they kind of have a reputation for dropping bombshells like this on the AI world.
A lot of folks in the AI community actually call their last major release a Sputnik moment. You know, one of those events that just catches everyone completely by surprise and suddenly announces that there's a powerful new player on the world stage.
And that moment was the launch of DeepSeek V3. I mean, this thing was an absolute monster. We're talking 685 billion parameters. Think of those like little learning knobs inside the AI's brain. And get this, it was completely open source. It was outperforming commercial models that cost 10 times more to run. It just completely reset what everyone thought was possible. That is why everyone is paying such close attention right now.
All right, so with all this noise, it's time to cut through it. Let's draw a really firm line in the sand between what we actually know and what's just pure unverified hype.
Let's break this down. In one corner, you've got confirmed info coming from credible reports. And in the other, you have this absolute flood of unverified leaks spreading like wildfire on social media. It is so important to be able to tell these two apart. Okay, here's what we know for sure. The model is multimodal. That just means it can understand and work with not just text, but images and video too. But honestly, the much bigger deal here is the hardware. It's been optimized to work with Chinese chipmakers like Huawei and Cambricon. The big takeaway here is the signal of independence. This is a clear move away from relying on American tech, and that has massive geopolitical implications for the entire industry.
Okay, now for the wild part, the unverified leaks. And some of these claims are just mind-bending. They're claiming scores that would make it the best coding model in the world. There's another claim that it's 11 times better than GPT 5.2 on an advanced math test. I mean, if any of this is even remotely true, it's an absolute game changer.
But whoa, let's pump the brakes for a second. The source material for this is super clear on this point. It says to take these numbers with a massive grain of salt. The direct quote is pretty brutal. 99% of them are outright lies. It's just a classic case of social media hype getting way ahead of reality.
So if we set all that benchmark hype aside, it actually reveals the bigger story. This release is about way more than just technology. It's a major geopolitical statement.
And the timing? Definitely not an accident. The release is perfectly sandwiched right between the end of the Chinese New Year celebrations and the start of China's most important political meeting of the year. This is a deliberate, calculated move, timed for maximum impact, both at home and on the world stage.
And this really hammers home the larger point. DeepSeek has grown beyond just being a tech company. It's now seen as a national champion, really, a symbol of China's ambition to be a leader in AI. This launch is them putting that ambition on full display.
Now, whenever you have this much ambition and this much at stake, controversy is sure to follow. And boy, is it ever. Even before the model's officially out, a storm is swirling, with some pretty serious accusations coming from a major competitor.
So, the rival AI lab Anthropic has made some serious claims. They're accusing DeepSeek of using something called distillation attacks to train their models. And there are also claims about their potential use of high-end chips that are supposed to be restricted.
Okay, so you're probably asking, what on earth is a distillation attack? Well, the simplest way to think about it is like this. It's a technique where you train your AI by basically having it study the answers from a bigger, more powerful competitor's model. It's a controversial shortcut to, well, essentially steal its capabilities. You can see how, if this becomes a common thing, it could radically change the competitive landscape and raise some huge ethical questions.
Now, without taking any sides here, the source material offers a really fascinating piece of analysis on this. It suggests that when you see this much intense scrutiny and drama around a model before it even launches, it can be a pretty strong signal that the competitors are, well, genuinely scared of what's coming.
So this all leads us to the final and most crucial question: what happens next? Once the hype dies down and the controversy fades and we can actually get our hands on this thing, what's the real-world impact going to be?
There are 3 key things you should be watching for. First, the official release itself. We need to see the real, verified benchmarks, not the stuff from social media. Second, the price. This is huge. If they release a model this powerful that's also way cheaper than the competition, that could disrupt the entire market. And finally, number 3, the leaderboard. Are we about to see a complete and total reset of who's on top?
And really, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? When all the dust settles, will the global AI leaderboard look completely different? Behind all the rumors and the politics and the drama, there's a very real potential for a massive shift in the balance of AI power. The only thing we know for sure is that the next few weeks are going to be absolutely fascinating to watch.